Peace and Pan-Africanism. Let me go to my brother, Brandon Mills. What is God to me? I'm going to try to answer this without even thinking, brother Brandon, as best I can. To me, God is indescribable, unknowable, incomprehensible. God is indescribable, unknowable, incomprehensible, and unnameable. One more time, brother Brandon. God is unnameable, unknowable, incomprehensible. Okay? And I'm saying this because we will give God a name. And because we have named an unnameable thing, we think we understand God. So I am here to tell you, I don't care if you practice Yoruba spirituality as I do. I don't care if you practice Igbo spirituality, Kemetic spirituality, Akan spirituality. I don't care if you Palo, Lukumi, Santeria, Voodoo. I don't care if you Muslim or Christian or Hebrew or Seventh-day Adventist. None of us can fully comprehend the grandeur and the greatness of what supreme consciousness is. All we can do is hope to begin to understand the source from which all of us come. Meditate on that, brother Brandon. Meditate on that, my good brother. Get to know your ancestors, because no one can guide you to God consciousness like your undead relatives. I said nobody can guide you into God consciousness like your undead relatives who are on the other side. See, we live in two worlds, brother Brandon, at the same time. We live in two worlds at the same time. You live in a spiritual world, in a physical world, and they interact all the time. But in order for you to see what's happening in the spiritual world, brother Brandon, in order for you to understand and see, you got to have your spiritual senses on. See, I got my physical eye, but my third eye might be closed. I got my physical ears, but my spiritual ear might be closed. I got my physical touch, but my spiritual touch might be off. I got my physical knowledge, but my divine knowledge might be off, brother Brandon. So you have to develop your clairvoyance, sight, clairaudience, hearing, clairsentience, feeling, intuition, direction, and claircognizance, intelligence, my brother. That's why most of us don't believe there's another dimension. That's why most of us don't believe, brother Brandon, that there's another dimension. That's why most of us don't believe, brother Brandon, that there's another dimension, because we are dumb, deaf, and blind. See, when spiritual books and leaders tell you you're dumb, deaf, and blind, they're not talking about these eyes. They're not talking about these ears. They're not talking about this mind. They're talking about the spiritual mind, the spiritual eye, the spiritual ears. Brother Jamal sent $20. Black men supporting black men. That's what I'm talking about. Black men supporting black men. There's a rumor out that most of my supporters are women. There's a rumor out that most of my supporters are women. Guess what? I have just as many men as I have women supporting me. If you go to my Facebook, my #1 supporter group on Facebook is black men 18 to 35. So for all y'all running around talking about he the king of the queendom, for all y'all running around talking about he the king of the queendom, for all y'all running around talking about King Kong consciousness is the queen of the kingdom, I'm also king of the silverback gorilla kingdom. I'm also the king of the silverback alpha male gorilla kingdom. I'm the king of the queendom, and I'm the king of the kingdom. Silverback Garvey gorillas. I said silverback Garvey gorillas. Five thick in the thighs, but I'm focused. I got my two queens. 5'5" thick in the thighs, but I'm focused. Let us stay focused. Let me hit the cash apps. Let me hit the cash apps. Eugene sent $10. How many cookies do you crush on the road? Brother Eugene sent $10. Thank you, Brother Eugene. Now, Brother Eugene, before I answer this question, how many cookies do you crush on the road? Before I answer your question, how many cookies do you crush on the road, Brother Eugene? And thank you for your $10, Brother Eugene. But here's my question, Brother Eugene. As a black man, I need you to help me, Brother Eugene. Text me directly, my brother. I need to ask you a question before I can answer your question. Brother Eugene, why does a man want to know how many cookies another man is crushing during his time on the road? Why is that of interest to you? I have no interest in knowing how many women you crush. I have no interest in knowing how many women other men in the conscious community crush. So, Brother Eugene, I need you to help me. Why is my personal sexual life of interest to you? If you answer that, Brother Eugene, if you answer me, my brother, I will respond with an answer. What should we do when it comes to the job structure and housing as black people? Brother Jamal, we got to build our own homes and create our own jobs. Brother Jamal, there's no answer for black unemployment and homelessness in white America. White America and the U.S. government has no answer for black homelessness and unemployment. We got to stop this ourselves. We are too dependent on the white power structure for our existence. We as a race are embarrassingly dependent on white folk for survival. Most black people don't even give a thought to building our own homes. Most black people don't even give a thought to opening our own schools. Most black people don't even give a thought to operating our own hospital. Most black people don't even give a thought to starting our own banks. Most black people don't even give a thought to building our own supermarkets, Brother Jamal. We have to get out of the slavish mindset that says the white man will always have an answer for the black man. Slavery put that in us, and black religion solidified it. I said slavery put that in us, and black religion solidified it. I said slavery put that in us, and black religion solidified it. We never think of doing for self from the ground up. We never think of doing for self from the ground up because slavery taught us to depend on our slave master, and black religion brainwashed us into believing it's okay to do so. Why aren't you licensed? I'm certified as a school psychologist. The reason I don't have my license as a psychologist is because after graduating in 2012, I continued serving the people. I continued saving the people. I continued working as a school psychologist. I continued traveling. To make a long story short, I never interrupted my life long enough to get my license. In order to get licensed as a psychologist, you have to complete a postdoctoral internship. I have to go to work for a whole year under somebody who's already licensed. I have to go to work for a whole year under somebody who's already licensed. I have to go to work for a whole year under somebody who's already licensed. And to be honest with you, I just haven't found time to do that. And that's the answer to that great question. Okay, somebody just sent me a picture of their semi-nude body. I would not call this profane, and I would not call this pornographic, because she's a very beautiful woman. Whoever you are drop dead gorgeous, and you are extra 5 thick in the thighs. I appreciate the eye candy, but I want to say this for you, my sister. It is consciousness over the cookies. It is politics before the punani. It is revolution over romance, and it is business before the bedroom. So what I need you to do, my 5'5" thick in the thigh voluptuous sister, is donate to the shockumentary and allow your big brother Ifatunde to keep his testosterone focused on the shockumentary. Allow your big brother Ifatunde to keep his testosterone focused for right now. What are the issues with homeschooling and boarding schools for black children? What are issues with taking funds from non-Africans? Let me do the second part first, Brother Derek. Thank you for your donation. When you take money from non-African sources, they own you, they control you. It's that simple. I don't know what else to say. The reason the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy is not being funded by any non-African entity is I don't want to be dependent upon or beholden to any non-African when it comes to school operations, when it comes to school philosophy. I don't want to be beholden to any non-African when it comes to curriculum, when it comes to the coursework. The reason we're doing it the hard way, the reason we're doing it the old-fashioned way, the reason we're doing it the Garvey way is because it's the only right way to do it. What's the issues with homeschooling? Ain't nothing wrong with homeschooling if you got the time to homeschool. But if you're a single black mother with 2 jobs and 4 kids, how you gonna homeschool? How you gonna homeschool? How you gonna homeschool with 2, 3 kids? It's not realistic as a solution, which is why I consider homeschooling an intervention. Homeschooling is an intervention. Homeschooling is not a solution because it is not realistic. For me, a solution must work for most of the community. If it doesn't work for most of the community, it is selfish and it is not a solution. Let me give you that again. I'm coming from a Garveyite perspective. 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 For me to call it a solution, it must work for most of the people. If it don't work for most of the people, it's not a solution, it's an intervention. Okay? We need institutions that can teach our children how to work together. You can't do that with a homeschool. Homeschool is a free fall. Every parent doing their own thing. We can't have that. We need institutions. That's why I became a certified school principal. That's why I'm a certified school principal. That's why I am a certified school principal, because educators have to be supervised. Homeschool parents are not supervised. End of story. Great question, Derek. End of story. Brother Eugene, $5. You care if black men crush snow bunnies? Okay. Eugene has a $5 question. Only problem, Eugene, is you have to send $10 to get your question answered. Eugene, you must send $10 to get your question answered. Eugene, you only sent $5. So Eugene, if you send another $5, I will answer your question. But I thank you for the $5 donation, Eugene. But to get your question answered, it has to be a $10 donation. And I will answer why black men crushing snow bunnies is important. Somebody said, I sent you a Zelle. If you're not licensed, that would mean you're not a doctor. This was a very foolish question, but I'm going to answer this. This is why people who are not doctors should not talk. This is why people who are not building schools should not talk about building. Let me read what this person said. If you are not licensed, that means you are not a doctor. You are totally incorrect, and let me explain the difference. Being a doctor is an educational attainment. Being a doctor is an educational attainment. Being a doctor is an educational attainment. Being licensed and being certified is a legal attainment that is required by the state where you practice to operate. Once you graduate from college, you are a doctor. Once you graduate from college, you have your master's. But if you want to be licensed so you can practice privately, if you want to be certified so you can practice privately, you got to get your license. This is the silliest and the dumbest thing I've heard in about 10 years. You're not a doctor unless you're licensed. Being a doctor is educational. You go to your doctoral program, you pass the tests, you take the exams, you get your degree, and you are a doctor. But if you want to get your license so you can practice privately, that's now a legal hurdle that you have to go through. Lord have mercy. If everybody would stay in their lane, if everybody would stay in their lane, the black community would be a better place. Eugene sent his other $5. Everybody, Brother Eugene sent another $5. This was an answer to your question about the cookies on the road. Wow. This Negro sent another $5 so I can answer the question, how many cookies do I crush on the road? Brother Eugene sent another $5, brothers and sisters. Brother Eugene sent another $5 so I can answer the question, how many cookies do I crush on the road? Brother Eugene, I'm going to answer your question. I am going to answer your question. How many cookies do Dr. Umar get on the road? He's in Africa. He's in Asia. He's in Europe. He's in Canada. He's in South America. Dr. Umar is in the Caribbean. He's in Texas. He's in Atlanta. He's in Jersey. He's in Connecticut. He's the most requested black scholar in the world. And Brother Eugene wants to know, how many cookies does King Kong consciousness crush when he's out raising the consciousness and saving the children? My answer, Eugene, is I have 2 wives. I have 2 wives. And occasionally they will meet me in said city to give me a back massage after my lecture. And we may enjoy a dinner over an African restaurant meal. And that is the answer to your question. Occasionally, wife number 1 or wife number 2 will meet me at a select place. This is not all the time. It is only occasionally. And they will give me a back massage because I am a Leo. And for those of you who are born under the sun, if you are the son of the sun, as I am, you carry your stress in your back and in your heart. Because we live through our heart. That's Ogun Tade. And so sometimes I put so much into my lecture that I got to call up my wifey and say, wifey, can you meet me in this city? I can really use your divine feminine power on my lower back. And then we go and we have a meal. No cookies exchanged. Brother Eugene, are we done? Brother Eugene, are we done? Brother Eugene, I need you to get some therapy because I'm kind of concerned, my brother, as to why you are so concerned about my personal intimacies with the queendom of Team Pan-African. That's none of your business. Let me go back to the questions. You are listening. Oh my God, there go Mr. Softy. There go Mr. Softy. Brothers and sisters, can I steal a Mr. Softy double vanilla with the rainbow jimmies? It's day 5 of the revolutionary Pan-African fast, and Mr. Softy is here. Can I please, ancestors, can I sneak a double vanilla cone with rainbow jimmies? Divinities, can I sneak a double vanilla rainbow jimmy? Oh Lord, Olodumare Chukwu Amin Ra Nyame, can I please sneak a double cone of vanilla with the rainbow jimmies? I'm gonna add 1 wife on 1 condition. I will extend the queendom to 1 wife on 1 condition. Now, the ladies already know I love greens with the turkey juice. Y'all already know I love soul food, but you gotta have greens with the turkey juice. Y'all know about my oxtails. Y'all know about my ribs. Y'all know about my homemade sweet potato. Y'all know about that. But let me tell you what else. In addition to the ginger ale and the zebra cakes, in addition to my ginger ale and my zebra cakes, nothing is more tasteful on a hot summer day than for a beautiful African queen to walk right up to me with a double cone of vanilla with the rainbow jimmies and say, King Kong Consciousness, Notorious RBG, Intercontinental Ifatunde, for the work you have done for the race. Here is your double cone of vanilla with the jimmies. Rainbow Let me get back. Let's refocus. Let's refocus. Brother O.P.A, I thought that was you. Thank you for your donation, my brother. Why do black men and women in interracial relationships make sure their so-called biracial children don't find out about our history? Powerful. Great question, O.P.A. His question: why do most black men and women in interracial relationships make sure that their so-called biracial children don't find out about our history? Does this mean that the biracial child will question the relationship? Okay. Brother O.P.A, let's go back to the source of the snow bunny crisis. Let's go back to the source of the snow bunny crisis. Black men date outside the race more than all other men put together as a percentage of their respective populations. Black men date outside the race more than all other men date put together as a percentage of their respective population. The reason you get snow bunnied in the first place, is you are trying to kill your DNA. You are trying to whitewash your DNA. So if I'm having a baby with a white woman, I'm doing it because I hate being black, and I'm doing it so my children don't look black. So naturally, brother O.P.A, naturally it follows that I don't want my mixed race African child to know about their African history. And I agree with you, brother O.P.A. I agree with you, because if my mixed race child learns what it really means to be African, if my mixed race child learns what it really means to be African, and shout out to all my mixed race Africans out there, I stand with you as long as you stand with me. Shout out to all my mixed race Africans out there. I do not discriminate against the mixed race African as long as you identify with your African family. Shout out to my Puerto Ricans who know they African. Shout out to my Dominicans who know they African. Shout out to my Cubans who know they African. Shout out to all my mixed race Africans who identify with the race. But brother O.P.A, the reason they don't teach the kids about being black is they're hoping that they can raise that African child as a non-black baby. They're hoping they can raise that African child as a non-black baby. They're hoping they can raise that African child as a non-black baby. Great question, brother O.P.A. Shania, with Eugene's persistent question about the cookies you crush on the road, I can't help but think of the rise of oh my God. No disrespect. No disrespect. This is her. She donated today to the shockumentary. She donated, and she says, with Eugene's persistent question, I can't help but think of the rise of the rainbow within our community. Shania, you hit it on the nose, sister. Shania, you hit it on the nose, sister. Shania, you a mess, baby. I can't wait to see you at the Conscious Singles Convention. Eugene got another question, y'all. Do y'all want me to read Eugene? Eugene has another, he just sent another $5. Eugene is $10, bro. Why Eugene keep trying to get questions read for $5? Eugene, it takes $10. Stop sending me $5. Here go Eugene, y'all. How many cookies before the wives? Oh, this guy wants to know how many women I've been with before I got married. He wants to know how many women I've been with. What kind of... Shania, get your dude. Shania, please get Eugene. Shania, I need you to get Eugene. Why is this man worrying about my personal sexual life? Eugene, you suspect, bro. Stop. Shout out to brother Jonathan Hall, $10. Island Daniel, $10. Both my sisters are with white men. Woo! Woo! Brother Island, if both of your sisters have been snow puppied, if both of your sisters have been snow puppied, if both of your sisters have been snow puppied, I'm willing to bet it might have been the way they were raised. I got to look at the way mama raised them, and I got to look at the way daddy raised them, Brother Allen. Because for both of your sisters to end up snow puppied, I think it had something to do with the way they were raised. Does DR.UMAR drink whole milk? Let me tell you one of my favorite snacks is dumping some cookies in the vanilla milk. I'm not being sexual. I'm not being sexual. You know how you get you some cookies, some soft batch, and you dump them in the milk till they get a little soft? That's one of my snacks. No sexual joke. I drink milk. I do. I don't drink cow's milk. I'm lactose intolerant. I don't drink cow's milk. I need my vegans to tell me how to unlactose intolerate me. I need my vegans to tell me how to unlactose intolerate, but I drink almond milk, mostly almond milk and coconut milk. Coconut milk, almond milk. I don't drink cow's milk. Cash App. Brother Tyree, $50. Keep winning. Thank you, Brother Tyree. $50. Thank you, brother. If you ever send another 50 sometime in the future, let me know so I can add you to the official sponsorship for the shockumentary. Woo! Brothers and sisters, I got hit with another unfortunate photo. Another Neanderthal sent me a picture of his woman's anatomy. Oh, Lord. So, I'm going to throw up. I think I got to throw up. Hold on. I think I got to throw up. I might got to throw up, y'all. Another Neanderthal sent me a photo of his woman's anatomy, brothers. And let me block him one time. Hold on. I got to block them. Woo! Woo! Have you ever seen raw, uncooked meat? Have you ever seen some raw, uncooked beef or some raw, uncooked chicken or some raw, uncooked turkey? Have you ever seen just some nasty, raw meat laying around? Have you ever seen this? Because it's not pretty. All you black men who have been snow bunnied, I don't understand the infatuation with raw, uncooked flesh. Didn't your mama tell you, cook your meat before you eat it? Didn't your mama tell you, cook your meat before you eat it? Didn't your mama tell you to cook your meat before you eat it? Black women are gorgeous. That's all I'm going to say. Black women are gorgeous. But let me stay focused. Let me stay focused. Your mama raised you. Cook your meat. You don't eat your meat raw. So for all the snow bunny men out there, for all brothers suffering the snow bunny crisis, how do you do this? How are we going to deal with coons when things get better? Lord have mercy. I'm going to re-ask that question. How do we deal with the coons when things get better? You know how we deal with them? You got to deal with them now. You can't wait till later, Elijah, because it won't be no future. Elijah, your question is wrong, my brother. You said, how do we deal with the coons when things get better? Elijah, things ain't gonna get better until we deal with them. Elijah, ain't no future with them. We got to deal with them now. You think the coon, look what they doing to me. Look what they doing to the festival. Look at all the sabotage I get from people who look like me, the Coon Kingdom, brother. No, things ain't going to get better while they still around. You got to deal with the Negro-Pean community now. I think we should build a community for Negro-Peans and their children. Send they dogs, they goldfish, send they snakes, send they birds, send all the Negro-Peans, their children and their pets to a special community and lock them there. Please become an official sponsor of the Shockumentary. $100 is a basic sponsor. $250 donation to the Shockumentary is a premier sponsor. $500 donation to the Shockumentary makes you an elite sponsor. All donors get their name on the credits. All donors get a private movie dinner screening. Okay? Premier donors will get a collector's edition DVD and entry to 3 showings of the Shockumentary anywhere in the world. Elite donors will get all of that, plus they get a certificate for the wall that they were an elite level sponsor, and they get free entry into 6 different Shockumentary premieres anywhere in the world. Please donate, and if you can't afford to be a basic sponsor at $100 or premier sponsor at $250 or elite sponsor at $500, just send me $10 and get your question answered. What's your phone number? You're on my phone number. Lord have mercy. There's a sister from Alabama who just sent me probably the most amazing swimsuit pic I've ever seen in my life of a black woman. Lord have mercy. God bless your soul. Mary, Jesus, and Joseph. Lord have mercy. But let me refocus. Let me refocus, because it is consciousness over cookies. It is politics over the Punan. It is revolution before romance. If you were to ask me, Dr. Umar, what has allowed you to become the #1 black scholar in the world? You are the most popular. You are the most requested. You are the most well-known. You are the most followed. You are the most loved. Dr. Umar, you are the most popular non-celebrity black man on the earth, despite being a revolutionary Pan-African nationalist, despite being sabotaged, but despite having haters, despite having people undermine you. How do you explain being #1 despite all you've been through? How do you explain buying that 4-campus school despite all you've been through, Dr. Umar? How, with all the trials and tribulations that your own people and white power have put in front of you, Dr. Umar, why did you succeed? I'm going to tell you why, brother. Because I try to pray every morning to the Almighty. I try to talk to my ancestors and my divinities and my spirit guides every day, my brother. I'm fasting right now. What is this? This is the Pan-African fast, brother. Because I'm a sinner just like you. I fall short just like you. I make mistakes just like you. But because I have a calling on my life, I was told since I was a child. I remember my grandmother told me. My grandmother said, you got a spirit in you, because when I would speak, it would affect people. I've had elders say, you were chosen. You were chosen, Dr. Umar. That's why nobody else in the conscious community can touch you. They can't come near you. The minute you get the microphone, everybody else is over with. Soon when you show up, the people go crazy, because you are the chosen one for this time and day. I'm not being arrogant. I'm being honest. I'm not being arrogant. I'm being honest. I'm being honest. And because I have a mighty responsibility Because I got to not only build FDMG Delaware, I got to build FDMG New York. I got to build FDMG Florida. I got to build FDMG Toronto, FDMG Turks and Caicos, FDMG Bahamas, FDMG Haiti, FDMG Puerto Rico, FDMG Dominica, FDMG Ghana, FDMG Nigeria, FDMG Australia, because I have a mighty mission. I don't just sit on YouTube and run my damn mouth like everybody else. I'm too busy saving children. So if you say, Doc, why are you still #1? When I first blew up in 2010, some of these other jealous people on the speaker scene, and I'm not on the speaker scene because I'm king of the damn speaking scene. Ain't no better orator than me on the conscious scene, not one. But when I first blew up back in 2010, some of them jealous Negroes said, he gonna be hot for 1 year and he gonna disappear. He just the new face. He just got a lot of degrees. He's just related to Frederick Douglass. He just 6'3" with a North Philly beard. But then 3 years went by, I was still #1. Some said give him 5 years. 5 years went by, I was still #1. Some said give him 10 years. 10 years went by, I'm still #1. It's year 13 and I'm still the biggest. I'm still the baddest. I'm still the boldest. And I'm still the blackest. And I happen to be 6'3", 260, North Philly bed, and I'm fine as hell. They can't stop this. This is Garvey talking to you. This is Garvey back in the whirlwind. This is true Pan-Africanism for your ass. Can't no YouTubian mess with me. Can't none of these fake conscious Negroes stand toe-to-toe with me. I'm a god to these Negroes. I said I'm a god to these Negroes. I said I'm a god to these Negroes. Peace.